Okay, so yay, once again, and maybe this is a little too early, too late, I don't know. I am back from a wonderful day of therapy. Well, not really therapy. Went to go to the doctors, get head meds. That's what I like to call them. Reviewed, and he gave me the okay to keep taking them. Their take is needed, so that's cool. Work's going well, everything's going well. However, that's not what I'm here to talk about today. No. What I came up with recently is I noticed I started collecting things. I started buying myself things to make myself feel better because I needed a change of environment. I was noticing that I wasn't letting sunlight in my room very often anymore, and it was just it's not going well. So to make it go a little better while I'm not in therapy, or and to share with you what I need to do, what I can do, what I try to do, what I'm trying to do to make myself feel better, is to surround myself with nice things. And material things don't always make you happy. However, how you use them can. And if you don't have the funds um to buy these things, it's not necessarily like it could help, yes, but unfortunately, I understand what it means to not have money, and there are tons of other ways you can try and help yourself cope. So I wanted to share a few things that I recently did to, I guess, help myself. Between therapy weeks and all that, and if something gets canceled, just trying to make myself not as miserable because I need to. And I think we all deserve a shot at just smiling once, maybe twice a day. So at the moment, I have them sitting next to me, and I also wanted to say I apologize for the glare in my lens. I bought a new lamp. I needed something brighter and something nicer looking, and I needed to just. I've even moved my bed. I know it doesn't seem like it, but I actually moved it, and I needed a change. And behind me, if you can see, my window is uncovered. It's not like I needed sunshine today. The weather's starting to get nicer out, and before my sinuses just kill me, I needed it. So we'll start it off. Let's start it off with okay. So these things are getting really popular now, and I am not being, of course, asked to do anything like this. Like, my channel barely gets any attention, which is fine. I don't really care. Numbers are not a thing to me. This is just something I do in case someone just feels the need to relate to something, and I know the feeling. So they're getting popular, and it's not the cool one with all the swear words, but it is less overwhelming. To call yourself calm coloring book. And I have used it 4 times now. I finished four pages. It's a little weird because when I was looking for one of these, a lot of them that we sell at my job, they're very overwhelming. There's too many abstract lines. I couldn't really see myself focusing on many of them. And there was a specific one I was looking for. I wanted one that had all owls in it, and it was not to be found. And I had one before, and I think I threw it out, and I don't remember why. Maybe it's somewhere. I don't know. I don't feel like looking for it. Anyway, so I bought this, and it's actually pretty cool. Except it's got a few strange things. It comes with Zen passages and all that stuff, and some of them actually sound like they're from like fortune cookies. Oh, here's a good one. It was calmness, right? And then if you look on the other page, it's kind of it's chaos. It's just chaos. And on the bottom it says, I'm as calm as a cat. I live with a very needy feline. He's calm, but he's also fat. So I think he doesn't do much because of that. I mean, I could be wrong. Some cats are more active, but calm as a cat. It's a really weird simile or analogy, whatever. And then, this one, I just recently did. I did this before I left for therapy today. Silence with loved ones is not silence. If someone wants to explain that one to me, you know where to leave that little bit of advice or reach out to me. I don't quite understand it. However, what I liked on the other page was it looked like a bunch of heart heart pieces from like Zelda. I know the heart containers. I'm so sorry. I was thinking about something else. Anyway, so I have that, and with that, of course, you can't color anything without materials. So the nostalgia weighed in when I first got the set of colored pencils that I have not had in years, and it was like going back to school shopping, and it was great, and I hadn't done this in forever, and so I got these ones, and they're pretty cool. I like them a lot. I like the 24 packs because it comes with a little bit more options. See, you get all those, and if you can read them when you pause this, go for it. If not, you don't have to. And then I went out, and I currently don't have it with me. It's called 500 Writing Prompts. And this thing asks you the most bizarre and random things that like aren't relevant to anything necessary, and you don't have to answer them any way but what you want. And I filled out 2 of them so far, and because I'm more prone to writing, it was nice. It was nice to think about something else and not have to sit there and just I filled it out while I was at work on break, and it was nice to kind of take my mind off the busy day. So that was cool. And then I also upgraded and got myself the twistable crayons because I don't sharpen my crayons, and when they weigh down, I just kind of toss them out or I get bored with them. These ones I've always used when I was in high school, middle school. We'll work our way back until they finally came out. Like when I first saw them, I loved it. So again, it's the 24 pack, but this one comes with a few other colors. So I was kind of excited the fact that it's not just all the same ones, so I can actually do different things. And then of course, along with that, not in the same purchase, but over time, I also found and liked this. Excuse my dog barking. Blank notebook, right? Sorry. My program that I'm using now, it flips the image, so everything I do is technically backwards according to me. So, in it, I was going to just leave it blank, just in case I ever needed it for anything, and then I found myself wanting to write a note to myself. Dear Self is what I wanted to call it, and what I want to try and call it, and I just filled out a page today, the first one I ever did. Because when we talk to ourselves, we don't actually listen. But when we talk with someone else, we listen. So I wrote it as if I was giving advice to not me. And it's a nice pep talk, and I think it's a nice way for me not to quite journal in some sense, because when I journal, I get lost in my head. And it's not a fun feeling, and I end up repeating myself and nothing gets solved. I never feel better anymore when I do it. So that's my way of trying to help. So you can't write without new pencils. I am such a nerd right now. I got the big mechanical pencils that are number 2, and the different colors were just too much to pass up. And then I thought I was getting the G2 like gel pens, like fancy pens, and then they're the fancier mechanical pencils. So that was kind of like one of those like, well, maybe my writing will be permanent. Erase a few mistakes and try and redo it, just like I'm trying to redo myself. Oh look, it's what is it? Irony and meta? I don't know. What do you call it? I don't know. So then also, besides that, I have added a few things to my room. I moved my bed. I needed a change, and change is nice. It's reset kind of. So with that, you so with that you kind of get a breath of fresh air in a way, and that's always nice. I opened up my windows, not opened them up, but uncovered them, need sunlight. It's getting better weather around here, which unfortunately means like doom for my sinuses. So before I like wind up just sick and stuffy all the time, yeah, I'm gonna sound a lot worse than this once it gets warmer out. It's gonna, it's gonna be nice. It's gonna be great. So besides that, I know, again, materialistic things, they're not gonna make you happy, but when you can utilize them for yourself, can. So with that, I also went for comfort, and I got myself this like fuzzy. Oh my god, it's the best blanket ever. I forget the name of the company, and I just threw out the tags like yesterday. Um, it's from my job again. It was like $20 maybe. Um, it is the softest blanket I have ever felt, and I love it to death. It is my feel better blanket. And when I'm upset or something, I kind of wrap myself in it and just sort of use it as, maybe adult security blanket, but I don't necessarily want to take it everywhere with me. I used to have a Disney blanket when I was little, and that was my thing. Like, I could not go anywhere without it, and it was bad if I did. So I got that. Um, I got that, and it's sort of nice because it's also light. Like I sweat too a lot. Not than like TMI. I'm fluffy. Like I do the fat kid thing where it's like it's nice to have materials that breathe. So I got that, and it falls off me at night, but I still have my comforter, so it's not too bad. And I mean, like, I don't necessarily depend on it, so I don't quite wake up if I lose it. However, it does help me go to sleep. I also, um, like, say, okay, I don't have the money for any of this. I can't have any of this. How? And you're asking me maybe in sarcastic tone, how can I buy all this, utilize it, and have, I have no money. I can't do this. I've been there, and that's where you sort of have to make things work. Like, for me, it was therapeutic to still move my room around. I still did that when I got upset because it was better lifting heavy things and being productive and trying my best to calm myself down than to sit and just keep letting the dust get heavier and heavier. I would clean, and sometimes, yeah, I do have panic attacks that make me stop doing that, and it sucks, and it's heartbreaking because you just want to get done. It's like a tiny project. So I suggest, try doing that. And if you can't do that, find something on YouTube to take your mind off of it. Try and watch something. I am a huge fan of Let's Players. Not hinting at, any of you, which I highly doubt any of you will see this. Game Grumps, Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, and I used to watch Two Best Friends play. I go back to them once in a while, but those guys have turned really crappy nights into really decent times. And some of them, most of them actually, have all been through their own hardships. They're still just people at the end of the day, and I really appreciate what they do and how hard they work to try and reach out to people that they necessarily can't all congregate in one room and personally talk to. So I think that's pretty cool. So find something on the internet to watch. Again, if you have a piece of paper and a pencil, you can still journal if that works for you. If you have music does different things for me. I associate too many songs with too many memories, and they're not all necessarily bad, but at the same time, sometimes reminiscing when you're in that state doesn't help. Because your mind is just, it's not in a positive place. So, I mean, if music can work for you and put you in a positive place, by all means, like, acquire that. Do it, like, sincerely. Sing it out, just take a breath and just, that's what I used to do when I first started getting these. Actually, I used to put on something and just like sing because it takes your mind off trying to breathe, and instead of breathing to survive, you're breathing to take on, take in another note. So I can do that too. um I had someone also tell me, like, if it's good, take a walk, go outside and take a walk. And you know if you can't quite take a walk and it's not enough and you just don't want to leave the house, at least if it's nice outside and taking some sunny D. Sunny D and sunshine and vitamin D is what I meant, but sunny D works too. It's you don't get a second chance to see the same sunrise. So I mean, if you sit outside and take in the fresh air, sometimes that'll help too. I personally never could. For me, it's like I had to have something to do while outside, and that's the hard part, is when my head starts multitasking, like it can focus on the sadness and what I'm doing at the same time. So I'm not guaranteeing this is all gonna work for you, because it all doesn't work for me. So that's the fun part. However, it doesn't hurt to try. Try your best and do what you can. And also, there's also a huge factor. Friends help. Not all friends help. Some friends don't understand. But you learn in time, when you have anxiety and panic issues and all that stuff, what people really see you as and how much you mean to them. And I'm not saying to use it as a test. That's completely the wrong answer. No, you do the best you can, and sometimes people can't, and it's not their fault, and it's not never your fault. It's, unless you're physically, mentally not letting someone in, maybe you can't, or maybe you don't want to, look deeper into that, and maybe that's where extra help needs to come along. So, friends want to be there. People want to be there who truly care about you, and don't like say, oh well, this person doesn't truly care because they're not giving their all to me. And it's just like, no, just sometimes people just can't relate, and sometimes those who can't relate, they fail to understand. And sometimes when people fail to understand, they take a huge step back, because everyone's different. We all have our stuff we're going through. And I know that I've been there. I've been speechless and unable to give any advice. And it bothered me more, I think, because the person reached out to me and I couldn't do anything. It was just one of those, like, I don't want to pawn you off to someone else, but I have nothing. It was beyond anything that I could talk about. So, and I'm hitting 20 minutes here soon, so who cares? That's why it's called what it's called. I ramble and you listen, maybe halfway through. So yeah, just friends and all that. Sorry if I'm not looking directly. I don't know. I keep apologizing. See, that's just part of my quirk. So friends, and talk to family members. Like, honestly, like, legit ask for a moment of their time. You never know who is willing to sit down and try and understand. And I got blessed at work with a lot of great coworkers who either asked or could relate or wanted to know or want to learn. There's plenty of people sometimes who actually get curious and would rather you teach them so they can try and understand. And that's like the genuine, like, thing that makes me smile, is when someone wants to sit down and take some of their time to learn, to be able to help a little bit more. The what can I do factor, and that's the best thing. So it's a few things that come in for free. By the way, like, even if you don't want to do the outside thing and it's nice out or not nice out or whatever, open up a window. Oxygen's great too. Even though we breathe it in, sometimes fresh oxygen is great. I mean, I sort of live in the suburbs of Detroit, so air's not too clean, but I mean, it's cleaner than sitting in, locked up room, breathing the same air that I probably have been breathing for years. I'm 27, so who knows what I'm inhaling anymore. Not drugs. Well, no, not drugs. So, I think I'm going to end it here. I if there's anything I missed or anything you want me to cover, anything that you'd like to say, not say, whatever, doesn't matter. Here to listen, here to not listen. If you don't want me to listen, I'll stop listening. I'm sure you'd like me to stop talking. So I still don't have a good sign off. I still ramble past the sign off, but we'll try and end it at I hope you guys are having a good day, good morning, good night, good afternoon, wherever you are. Whoever you are, your feelings are valid, and I say this all the time, because I took a long time to realize that my feelings are valid too, and I'm still learning that, and it's a learning experience. We'll all learn together, and I hope that you are doing well, and if you are not, feel free to reach out to anyone, to anything. You never know who's listening and who's willing to lend a hand. I'm one of those people, so feel free to find me on Twitter or Instagram, doesn't matter. I posted somewhere, I think, on my channel, those things. And if you want, like or dislike, you don't have to comment or subscribe. Like, really, it'll take 2 seconds of your time, but I'm not gonna, beg for you and your attention, whoever you are. Even though subtly that's a weird way to do it. It's like fishing for compliments. Don't do it. Anyway, so yeah. So that was my thing for today, is to show little ways to cope. I'm sure I'll come up with more later on, more methods for breathing, all that, once I learn them myself. I only know one, so I hope that this was helpful, and if it wasn't helpful, let me know. If it was helpful, let me know. You don't have to let me know. You just go on with your day. So I will see you all later, and until next time, thank you very much for watching.